My name is Lisa Alastuey, and on this channel, you will find a variety of interviews that I conduct with a number of people in their specialized areas. And I'm super excited today to have Brian Dobson, who is the
Oh,
owner
yeah.
of the Metroplex Gym in Arlington, Texas. So, welcome, Brian.
Hello, Lisa. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for taking time today to
Sure.
join me to talk about your gym. So, just a little background, I recently met you. I stumbled upon your gym. It's been on my list of things to do in the DFW area, and it was quite interesting to walk in on your gym. And I really do appreciate how hospitable and friendly you were in giving me a tour. And I'm super thankful that you're here today to do an interview with me.
No problem. I'm honored to do it.
Awesome, awesome. So, looking at the founding history of the Metroplex Gym, can you take me back to what was the spark that gave you the idea that you wanted to start this gym?
Okay. Well, at that time, I was 30 years old. I'd been competing as a competitive bodybuilder since my late teens. Um, Gyms were, there wasn't many gyms like Metroflex even then, but there were some. That kind of started getting phased out. The corporate style gyms started coming in, taking over. Um, they wouldn't allow chalk. You couldn't deadlift. Most didn't have a squat rack, stuff like that. And of course, for someone like me, competitive powerlifter and bodybuilder, it sucked. And so when that started, I really, got the idea in my head that it was something I wanted to do. I mean, I'd always wanted to do it. I tried before, the bank wouldn't give me a loan. The gym I was working at was going out of business, and I tried to buy it when I was probably early 20s, but they wouldn't give it to me for some reason. And obviously, it worked out better this way. And I really basically just started buying pieces of equipment at garage sales, auctions. Um, Back in the day, there was a Joe Weider was selling a set of weights that were all kilo, and I would find these at garage sales and get them for pennies on the dollar. And I started accumulating weights, and mainly it was that stuff at first. But anyway, I'm probably drifting off the question you asked me because I'm really bad about that. But I wanted a gym. I wanted to have my own style, hardcore, chalk, slapping you in the face for a big lift, whatever it took, and that's how it really all started. And I actually called Metroflex Gym was actually open, but it was called Mac Gym. Mac Gym was an affiliate of Mac Barbell. Mac Barbell was one of the first places to really make equipment in the DFW area, but they sold the Texas Power Bar, which was, the best bar you could get. So I wanted those. I didn't want chrome bars. I mean, I could deadlift 700 pounds back then. A chrome bar would bend when I deadlifted with it. So I wanted the good quality bars and geared really to hardcore lifting and everything. That's Metroflex has been that way from the start. But anyway, I called back when we used to call information on the phone and asked for Mac Barbell. Well, they gave me the number to Mac Gym instead. And when I called, the man answered and he said, "Well, what do you want? You know, what do you want those barbells for?" I said, "Well, I want to open up my own gym." And he was like, "Well, why don't you buy this one?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, yeah." He goes, "I hate it. I don't like this. My dad bought it for me, and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Well, where's it at?" And it wasn't close to where I lived. It was about 40 miles. But anyway, I drove over immediately, and it was prime time, probably about 7 o'clock at night. There was no one there, but maybe two people. And he had some equipment. He didn't work out himself. It was not a good fit looking to me at all. And he wanted a lot of money for it. And, I think I didn't have any money. I mean, I had like $2,000 maybe. And anyway, I just recently gotten married and, we were poor. We were barely making it. And so I just kind of thanked him for his time and, well, appreciate it. And he called me back. And he said, "Well, how much do you have?" I was like, "Well, I got like 2,500 bucks." And he's like, and I'll take it. And I'm like, okay. And literally the next day, I moved in and he moved out. And I remember his last words to me, he had a little TV set and he took it with him. He goes, "You're going to need one of these." And I said, "I don't think so." I said, "If I need that, I won't be here very long." And, you know, there was probably 25, maybe 30 people that were actually training, but most of them were actually customers of this guy because he sold drugs. And back then, steroids were actually legal. And he sold steroids, but he also sold illegal drugs, cocaine, some other shit. So it took me a little while to clean that place up from all that mess. But they did have a little mini powerlifting team, and honestly, they all sucked. And they didn't really like me at first at all. I mean, they would like not even really talk to me. It was kind of weird. And you know, I was not an elite level power lifter, but I had been trained by the greatest in the world, and and I was getting there. Yeah, and finally, after about a week of me kind of getting like a weird treatment from the little powerlifting team we had, they're back there squatting. So I walked back there with them, and I'm like, "Man, you don't mind if I work in?" And they're like, "Oh, you squat?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I remember I had Wranglers on, and I mean, I used to kind of be like a cowboy, I guess you could say. And I had Roper cowboy boots on and a tank top, like a wife beater tank top. Anyway, when I did like 650 for 5 reps below parallel, after that, everybody wanted to talk to me and listen to me after that. And that kind of changed everything. And man, I built up a badass powerlifting team the first year. We won everything we went to. Excuse me. But I'm probably getting off the subject, so I'm going to stop.
That's amazing. I think it's really inspiring that you started with like basically bare minimum, not a lot of money, and then just, taking the leap of faith that it would turn into
Absolutely.
something. And I think that this is a great story for anybody who's listening that's like, should
Yeah,
I take a risk? Should I even if I don't know where it's all going to end up?
exactly. And if you want to start a gym, there's no greater gym than Metroflex Gym. You could contact me for that. And the amount of money you would spend to open a Metroplex will be fractional compared to what you would get with any other, even comparative, close to comparative brand name. I guess maybe not to the normal people, but to our tribe of people, the hardcore, the bodybuilders, the strongmen, the powerlifters, the MMA people. For that group, you're not going to find a better deal. I promise you. But anyway, that's another subject.
Yeah, so when I walked into your gym, three things stood out to me. First was, just the weights and the raw and the grittiness of it all. There was also a God aspect, and then also hunting. So the
Yep.
weights, the God, and the hunting. It's just like I
It's
think
all
that's a
combined.
nice. Go ahead.
It's all combined. I mean, like with me, I mean, I didn't know it at the time, but it was God getting me into that gym. I mean, I'm the worst businessman on earth. I give everything away. It's just I've learned to be that way through Jesus. I mean, He gave everything for us, and I mean, it's just I'd much rather be that way than a penny pinching miser. I mean, I'm not a baby anymore. I'm almost 70, and if I die, I can't take it with me anyway. Where's it going to go? I mean, yeah, my kids will be taken care of, etc. But you know, uh, I don't. I don't like to live like that. I have some friends that are millionaires, and they get so bent out of shape over a few $1,000s. That's nothing to them. And I'm like, my gosh, man, I go, just let them have it. You know. But I mean, but going back to that aspect you're talking about, I mean, last weekend, Friday, we put on an annual thing called the Raw Power Wild Game Feast. And it's an event we do every year. I've probably been doing it for like 35 years. At first, it just started as a bench press contest. And then it morphed into this where, well, I used to hunt, I was like a wild boar hunting guide. Wild boar have taken over the woods and fields of Texas. And really anywhere they go to, they become they're an invasive species. They're very destructive. They're dangerous. A big boar, people will talk about having 600 and 700 pounders on their land, but they don't. I mean, maybe you'll see one that a regular hog at the state fair that big that's been fed, and, his whole life, but a wild boar is out there. He's surviving. He's eating acorns and grass and really anything he can overcome. I mean, they'll scavenge, and but anyway, they're very exciting to hunt, especially with dogs. And we don't use a gun; we kill them with a knife. So it's something different. I mean, once you've done it, it. I mean, to me, it changed me. I mean, when you're fighting an animal that weighs 400 pounds with your three dogs, and you're going in there and boom with a Bowie knife, it does it. You become a man. More or less, I guess you could say. And I mean, I've literally killed probably thousands of these monsters, but
Wow.
we used to catch them alive. I mean, because we used to get paid a lot of money. I mean, they were $1 a pound for the longest time, and if it was a big ass boar and they had teeth, they you got even more. You got like $100 bonus. But that eventually stopped because people started trapping them, and the price went way down. And I mean, to get a 200-pound wild boar out of the woods alive, because you had to deliver them alive, it's a tremendous effort. And a lot of these places we go, we weren't allowed to take vehicles. I mean, it was just my main place. It was all manpower and dog power, man. And I mean, but when you got something, you accomplished it. It felt amazing. I mean, probably, but anyway, um, we had so much meat all the time. I started doing a homeless outreach in Fort Worth downtown, which there's probably 3 or 4 thousand homeless people down there. And you take a smoker down there, and we cook it at the gym first, but then we bring it with us so the smell gets out. I mean, one time I fed over 600 people in one afternoon. I mean, it was crazy, and they love the wild meat. They love it. I mean, I just did it the day before Thanksgiving again, same location we've been at for like almost 30 years now, and I don't know, we probably had 300 people come out, and I felt bad because I didn't have a ton of wild meat. I haven't been hunting. I've been so busy working on all these shows we put on and stuff. I literally had maybe 50 pounds of deer meat, and I was, that was kind of like to last me till I can go hunting again. And but I took it and we served it along with tons of other stuff. I mean, these people got fed very well. I mean, and that eventually morphed into the contest. I said, well, if we're going to do the contest, let's we're already hunting all the time. I mean, we're going to hunt regardless, but I mean, this will kind of give us a purpose, another purpose. And it's developed to where it's not just me, my members. People go, like, we had one guy made for this one bear, buffalo, boar, turkey, and deer all ground together into this chili that I'm like, I'm afraid to try that, to be honest with you. And it was amazing. It was really, really good. And another guy, he made a wild buffalo when he went and hunted with pasta. I mean, he had a pot. It was the size of a garbage can. Those savages ate every bit of it. I mean, there was nothing left. And then I went out last Sunday, finally got to go hunting, and a buddy of mine has a ranch that has an animal called a red deer. It's like an elk. They're actually European elk. Well, it's been a while since I've hunted these things, and I'm a lot older now. I forget how dadgum big these some bitches are, man. I mean, they're not. The doe is actually called a hind. The female is a hind. They're not the big boys are called stags, not a bull or a buck, but a stag. But anyway, it's they look a lot like an elk, and they're pretty much the same size. And thank God I didn't shoot one of them big old stags because I'd still be out there trying to get that thing out of the woods. But I mean, I got the first one I shot was probably 100 yards from a road. I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. but it was still kind of a problem because I hadn't carried one of these an animal that big out of the woods in a long time. It, it's a test, and it's kind of like doing a strongman event combined with CrossFit or something. That's kind of what it reminded me of. It's like I was on a rower, a low cable row, a deadlift, and then kind of finishing off with like a high pull or something. And the 100-yard one, it was an effort, but it wasn't horrible. Once I got to the road, I was able to go get a four-wheeler and all the good stuff. But the other one, I guess I just forgot where I was because I know this ranch pretty intimately. And anyway, they travel in herds a lot, and I saw the tips of this big boy's antlers, and I'm like, oh shit. And he stands up, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's dead, man. And then I started thinking, I'm like, that's about 700 pounds. The last time I killed one that big, it nearly killed me getting it because I guided. I used to guide out there on that ranch, and this kid wanted to take it home whole to show his daddy. This kid probably weighed 150. Probably had like a max deadlift of 185 or something, maybe. And and the truck he had was this big old. I don't everybody jacks their trucks up about 3 feet high. Yeah. So the tailgate's in about my chest, and man, honestly, the only way we got it in is I don't even know the term for this type of pulley, but when you pull on it and you get like an inch, it holds it. Like if you're a regular pulley and you pull that heavy weight, when you try to get another hold, it's gonna go back. With this stuff, it holds it. And after, I don't know, man, 50 pulls of this every bit of power I had in my body, I finally got that thing's head above the tailgate, and I got up there, and then I did it to his head, and I just kind of eventually got him in there, man, somehow. And yeah, that was one of the hardest things I think I've ever done. But getting that, but anyway, so I ended up shooting a hind, and then when I get up to her, I'm just like, she was a really big hind, man. I bet she was probably 350, maybe. And I'm just like, oh shit, man. Okay, all right. And I'm trying to remember where the roads were from this spot, and I may have made the wrong decision, but anyway, it took me 2 hours, and I literally drug the hair off of this beast. I mean, I mean, I drug it so far; it's very rocky out there. I mean, the side I'm dragging on, it was leather when I got it back to a road. And but anyway, long story short, I spent pretty much all of last Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, taking it from that point to skinning it, to quartering it, to cutting it into steaks, to cutting it into roast, to taking every little bit of meat off the ribs, the neck, all the stuff that normally people throw out, the meat like off of here, the foreleg, and I ground every bit of it up. And I think we served like 150, big ass hamburgers out of that. I mixed in some wild boar with it because to give it a little bit of fat, a little bit of beef as well. But I'm telling you, these people, they told me those were the best burgers they ever ate. And of course, as a cook, I'm cooking. I'm the cook too. I had to sample a couple, and they were flipping amazing. They were so good. It was honestly, it was really one of the hardest things I've done in a long time getting that second one out. I mean, I told my girlfriend, I said, "My God," I go, "that was a true manhood test, and I ain't sure I passed." But she was, "Well, you got it in the truck," and then she goes, "Well, you look how old you are. You shouldn't even be doing that shit." Blah blah blah. But I'm gonna do it till I die. I promise you. Like Ronnie gets mad because I still deadlift. I said I'm deadlifting till I'm dead. So I don't care if I'm pulling 3 wheels back there, and that's it. I'm still gonna do it. So
That's awesome.
anyway,
That's probably the most Texas story I've heard in a long time. But you also highlight how important it is to maintain that strength as you go down the path of life and how
absolutely,
you're using it into you said you were 68 and able to like lift these types of animals and so
yeah.
forth. I mean, it's
If I didn't train, I could have never done that ever.
exactly. Can you touch on the motivation of that training and how it helps with hobbies and passion and
Everything. I play baseball still, and baseball's a little bit different. It doesn't really. Well, I should rephrase this. All the damage I've done to my body over the 50 years of hardcore lifting, I could honestly hit a ball farther when I was 13 than I can now. But I was a superstar when I was a kid, man. I mean, I could crush a baseball. I really thought I'd be a Major League Baseball player. When I was 17, my coaches didn't think so much of that. Well, they loved me playing ball, but they didn't like me lifting weights. Well, I had met one of the greatest, most hardcore, trainees ever, Tom Platz, and I was too young to work out where he worked out, but he took the time to write me out a workout and a diet. And the workout was pretty simple, but it worked. It was kind of basic powerlifting. And then the diet was a gallon of milk a day and 3 pounds of meat. So the first thing my mother's like, that's fine. Give me $20 a week. This is 1973 or something, four. So that was, I mean, that's probably what I made in a week at my job, and I mean, my paycheck, I saw one the other day. I found an old one, $1.15 an hour. How did I buy anything? I mean, I bought my own car. I bought all my own guns. I love to fish. I bought all my own stuff. I mean, my dad was really great as far as helping you achieve things that you wanted. Like, I remember my first rifle. I wanted this rifle so bad. My dad was like, all right, well, you know how to work. And, pray for snow because, I grew up in Michigan. Up there, it's, when it snowed, you could make $20 in a day shoveling snow. But working a normal job, you didn't get paid crap. I mean, I got paid $1 something an hour, man. But anyway, somehow I was able to get all this stuff and worked it all out. And with Tom Platz, as somebody to talk to and as a mentor, and he was Mr. America or training for the Mr. America when I met him. I mean, I'm looking at my coaches, they're fat. One had like a permanent tobacco drool stain right here that I always thought was disgusting, even as a kid. Um, they weren't good athletes. I mean, hell, they couldn't even hit a ball out to me in the outfield very good. and 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 then I got this guy here who's amazing, looks like Robert Redford, and has a Corvette and hot chicks. And I'm like, that's what I want. I mean, maybe baseball will get me all that eventually, but all I'm seeing is a sandlot field here, and I'm seeing, I mean, I always wanted to be big and strong like that. I mean, I kind of always was growing up. I was always one of probably the strongest kid. I mean, like I remember we had an Olympic weightlifter come to our high school, and he had graduated from there. And I mean, back then there was very few Americans who had ever clean and jerked over 400 pounds. I think this guy had done like 440. So he never went to the Olympics, but he won the Pan Am Games. And he was a big old giant Viking looking dude, red hair, big old beard. And he put on a demonstration. And, our school was huge. We had 3,000 kids. I'm sure how many were there watching that. But anyway, at the end of it, he's like, would anyone like to come out here and try to lift this? Whatever he had just clean and jerked or whatever. And, we're all just like, because we didn't, I mean, back then we didn't have a weight room in our high school. 3,000 kids in a high school, no weight room. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, now a school that size, like my youngest daughter, I mean, she's been graduated for a long time now, but when she moved, we had a brand new school right down the street from us. And I got to go there and talk to the football team, kind of just inspire them. I'm looking in that weight room and I'm just like, shit, I mean, the Dallas Cowboys don't have nothing on these weight rooms now. I mean, it's amazing the amount of equipment they have and everything's perfect and, way better than all the stuff I have in my gym. But, equipment don't make a gym. It's, this is what makes a gym. Power, grit, belief, determination. That's what makes it. But,
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
So could you talk a little bit about what is Metroplex compared to your commercial corporate gyms and what is a standout and makes yours different?
The biggest difference in Metroflex is just the attitude, the belief, the everything, you go to, of course, everybody knows, the purple gym, it's so pathetically weak. I mean, I mean, I'll eat donuts and pizza too, but after I've burned about 10,000 calories, I don't like, you know, promote, that kind of diet. And I remember one time one of my other gym, owners posted some before I even knew how to do Facebook, or this before Instagram when Facebook was the thing, and put a picture of their owner. He's holding there with a thing of donuts and a little fat face, and then it showed me doing the most muscular after I just did like a 700-pound deadlift or something. It's like their owner, our owner. Who would you rather be? And I'm like, well, that guy's a millionaire, and I'm nothing. I mean, I make a lot of millionaires, but I'm still trying for my first one, man. I mean, everybody thinks I got money, man. I don't have money, man. I mean, I give it all away. and I've been married twice. That took the second one took a lot. I mean, way more than was right. But then she said, you want to fight about it? I'll take the gym. I'm like, take all you want.
Well, so let me ask you a little bit about the Ronnie Coleman history, because that's how I honestly heard about your gym to begin with, is
Of
his
course,
story about getting a free gym membership,
right.
and apparently that was you. So tell me about meeting him and
Okay.
how that all came about, that relationship.
Well, with Ronnie, there was another police officer. I actually had quite a few police officers back then working out at the gym, and he started telling me about this rookie because they had a gym there at the station or training center or whatever. He goes, this dude's a freak, and this guy was he was legit. He played pro football. He was a big, strong son buck, and he's like, you got to see this kid. He's amazing. He goes, I've never seen veins like this on anybody, and blah blah blah. And I said, well, bring him down here. I said, I need a workout partner. That's because every time I would train with someone, it'd go good till leg day. Well, after leg day, they'd never come back. So I've been through like 5 workout partners in the last, 5 months. I mean, very few made it for more than one leg day. And I was training for Mr. Texas, and I'm like, bring him down, please. And of course, the moment I saw him, I'm like, oh, holy shit, man! Yeah, this kid could do it, man. And I mean, everybody's heard my story, Ron. He had a red sweatsuit on, just like the ones you wear in gym class. I mean, normally they don't really show off your physique at all, but on him, I mean, I could see his veins bursting through this sweatsuit, not only in his arms but in his legs, which impressed me even more because I ain't never seen nobody with veins like that in their legs, and I've been competing for a while now. I mean, and at a pretty high level, and I'm like, God dang, man, and so anyway, I told him, I said, you could be Mr. Olympia one day. He didn't know what Mr. Olympia was. And then I said, well, started to say, he said, well, nah, I can't do that because he goes, I ain't taking no steroids and I don't like needles. I said, you don't have to take steroids. Because honestly, I really thought it wasn't a whole lot longer after that they actually did drug tests the Mr. Olympia. It's like everybody has forgot about that year because
1990 or 91, somewhere in there.
three, I think.
93.
I think it was 93. Because Ronnie first got his pro card in 91.
Okay.
And I think, no, God dang, no, I messed up. That ain't correct. Because Dorian was Mr. Olympia then.
Hmm.
Anyway, I'm not positive what the year was, but anyway, they
Early
did try it,
90s.
and everybody looked so bad.
Hmm.
I mean, all the big guys were down like 25 pounds. Really, honestly, that year I think Lee Labrada should have won it because I mean, he's on stage at 180 normally. Probably he probably was 170. It wasn't a huge difference in his physique, but everybody else. I mean, I love Lee Haney, man. I mean, he's a bad son of a buck, and he's a great man of God, and I just think he's awesome. But that year, I'm pretty sure I could have given him a run for his money the way I looked at that time. I mean, he did not look that good, man. And the things that were kind of weak on him really stood out without the drugs.
Hmm.
And most of these guys, they probably still took something. They just, there's a test. There's always a way to beat the test to a degree. But anyway, you know, even back then when they did, this the era of magazines, there was no internet, none of that. Mr. Olympia, the whole magazine would be coverage of the Mr. Olympia. This year, it was like 3 pages. I mean, because I mean, I'll tell you, these guys, everybody looked bad, man. I'm not kidding you. I mean, it wasn't good. And then you never heard about drug testing in the bodybuilding world ever again. At the high level anyway.
Right, right. They were going to lose a lot of money and fans
I
and all
mean,
of that. Yeah.
bodybuilding is about freaks. I mean, like maybe back in Arnold's time. I mean, before he came along,
Mhm.
it was about shape, symmetry, the beauty of the male physique, etc. Small waistlines, nice V tapers. Now it's just who's the freakiest mofo you can find on the planet.
Yeah. If you're
Which
not over
which
300, if you're not over 300 pounds,
yeah,
you're not
I
even in
mean, like now, like
just,
yeah, if you're Ronnie's height, 5'11", you got to be 300.
mhm.
Or I mean, I look at some of these young guys, like one of the guys I've had the pleasure of working with, and I love this kid to death, is Martin Fitzwater. And I mean, he's probably, don't get mad, Martin, if you hear this, 5'7", maybe, and maybe he's a little bit taller, but I mean, he probably weighs like 250, 260. And he's hard. I mean, uh, it's not like a fluffy 260 or a puffy. I mean, this dude's strided at that weight. And I mean, if he was my height, hell, he'd weigh like 340 or 50 probably or something like that. So I mean, every year it kind of just keeps going up and up and up. And, but in my opinion, Ronnie at his best, like to me, 2003 was his very best. And to his mind, it was when he won the Arnold, which he was like 50 pounds smaller. So how could that be your best? I mean, he was 300 plus pounds with like literally zero body fat. I mean, his ass was strided, everything was strided. I mean, he was 300 pounds of solid beef up there, man. And, you know, what I saw this year, and of course, when you're not there in person, it's very easy everybody looked like crap this year. Now, the lighting is everything, and the lighting can change. I mean, you would think at the Mr. Olympia, they would put on the best production on the planet Earth. And it's come a long way. I mean, I'm telling you what, man, 10 years ago, they were putting out some crap. I mean, bad lighting, messing up with the posing music. I mean, everything, stuff that I will not tolerate at my own amateur shows.
Mhm.
And I mean, now it's way, way better. But the lighting is not always great. Now, granted, every single man on that stage is having to deal with that same lighting. So if Ronnie in 2003 would if he had looked way harder than these guys today, I don't know for positive because he wasn't there. I mean, but looking at his pictures from then, he was way harder than anybody this year, except for maybe Martin. Martin was hard, and Martin had striations. I mean, everywhere. I mean, in bodybuilding, it's apples and oranges. That's the other hard thing with it, man. I mean, you work so hard, and then you get beat by someone that you wouldn't even want to look like that guy. I mean, it's not what you trained to look like, And so, I mean, it can be very different. It can be very frustrating. I think in my career, I probably got second place 20 times, maybe. I mean, that's a lot of second places, man. I mean, and I'd win about every fourth one, something like that, And then I never placed below third, but I mean, some of them second places were just, I mean, gut wrenchers, man. I mean, I would be so upset. I mean, I learned to control all that. I didn't like throw my trophy on stage like that, even though you want to. I would usually just, if it was in Texas or in our area, I would drive back to the gym and I would just go work out till like daylight after I ate like 50,000 calories or something. I don't know. And yeah, that's how I would get over it. I would work harder. I
Mhm.
remember we were at a show one time. I partnered with Branch Warren now. Branch and I'd put on shows as well. And it was at the Branch Warren Classic. And honestly, this guy, I mean, it was very close. Should he have won? I don't know. It was one of them. apples and orange things. This judge likes an apple, that one likes an orange, and we had three that liked oranges and only two that liked apples. I don't know, but he's all upset, freaking out. And then Branch just goes, "Hey man, calm down." He goes, "The only thing you can do is you keep acting like this, and these judges see you. It's just going to be worse on you next time." I said, he said, "Art, just be a man and train harder." And then he just walks off. I looked at that kid and I said, "Man, that's the best advice you could ever get." And then I walked off. And then next year I saw him and he won. So it worked.
Yep, great advice. Great
Yeah.
advice.
I mean, because you're bitching, moaning, complaining, your wife and girlfriend are going to tell you how bad you got screwed over. None of that matters. It only matters if those judges won, and you want them to like you. You don't want them to be, oh, there's that dude that threw his trophy at the last show or whatever like that. No, you want, and by and large, the job of being a judge to me was not something I'd want to even do. It's so, you know, it's a very, very, very difficult job, and so I commend them, man.
Have you ever been asked to judge or?
Yeah, oh yeah, but I don't want to judge for
Yeah.
that reason, as because it's very hard, but also because I already get this shit from people. Oh, I don't enter that, Ronnie Coleman Classic because you got to work out at Metroflex Gym to win that, and it can't be further from the truth. I was at the branch one year, and I'm standing behind. There's so many of these goddamn guru trainer idiots out there. I mean, it makes you want to vomit. I mean, I'm like, what did you win? Nothing. Oh yeah. So where did you learn how to do this? Oh, the internet. Oh, you're a bad son of a bitch, aren't you, man? Get out of my, no. To me, if you haven't done it, I mean, I know there's some coaches that are good. Mainly they're drug dealers. They're not even coaches. They're good because they put these people on so many drugs. Yeah, they look good, but then they die a year later. You don't hear about all these people like these idiots train. Like the guy who won Mr. Mississippi or something like that, or you know, when he dies because of all the shit they put him on, you don't hear about it. I mean, when someone big time dies, like we had recently with Dallas McCarver,
Yeah.
you know, it gets very washed over.
Hmm.
But there's a bottom line to why he died, man. And it's because of drugs and way too many, like way too many. That's what was so great with Ronnie. Everybody thought Ronnie was on all these drugs, man. And at the end of his career, I don't know what he took. I told him I don't even want to know. I said, don't even tell me because I don't want it to deal with that part of your life, man. And same thing with everybody I train. I go, don't even tell me. I'll take care of this part in the weight room. You take care of that part with your coach. They're not coaches. They're really not.
And that's a really good point you had said when I was visiting you is that you were Ronnie's training partner. Like if he was
Yeah,
squatting, you'd be matching him on the
exactly.
squat and talk a little
Yeah.
bit about how you motivated each other.
Well, I mean, how can with Ronnie? I mean, you had no choice to get motivated. You're going to get killed, And I mean, Ronnie loved to dominate, man. I mean, when the first probably 6 months, me and him had some good fights, man. I probably beat him in the beginning. I mean, I know I beat him in the beginning, but then, once he got past his first win, he started growing. He started realizing what he could be. This dude started growing. I mean, like every month he got bigger and stronger. Like it was continuous progress. And I'd find people to compete with him. And it was kind of the same thing. Most of them would do good till leg day, and then we never saw him again. I mean, we've always had a reputation for murderous leg workouts, and it's really from just the little bit of coaching I had from Tom Platz way back when. I mean, because I seen him do it, and I saw what the human body was capable of. Like I mean, he would push himself to where he would squat to failure. You know, it's not hard to bench press to failure. It's harder to deadlift to failure, but to squat to failure, it's very, very, very hard because not only is it such a supreme physical effort, it's dangerous. I mean, if you don't have some serious spotters and you got like 400 on your back, or you don't have a squat rack that's going to catch the weight, I mean, you could get killed, you know? So yeah, seeing him go to complete failure many times, just, kind of taught me to be tougher and to try harder. And, you know, I, I would use a lot of different things to also inspire me. I would use different animals, like my hog dogs, the ones I hunted pigs with. I mean, they're tough. They were so tough, it was unbelievable. I mean, compared to them, I'm a little wee man, you know, and, I mean, even Ronnie would be too, really, but probably, but like getting motivated to train with Ronnie, it wasn't hard at all. I mean, plus, I mean, he's training for a show. I'm training for a show. Our partner, he's training for a show. So we all had different goals, and we all pushed each other. I mean, the one guy that mainly worked out with us the most, his name was Mark Hanlon, and he passed away to too much stuff eventually. But he was tremendously strong. I mean, always over 800 deadlifter. I seen him incline 585 for like 6 reps one time. I mean, that's insane. And he weighed probably 275 in the off season, 5'11", something like that. Always very hard, but just extremely powerful. And it took a long time for Ronnie to pass him. I mean, but he eventually did. I'm pretty dang sure Ronnie was still completely natural at that point. I mean, Ronnie won pro shows naturally. No
Right.
one's ever done that. I mean, who's won a legitimate like ifbb pro show completely natural? That's insane. But he did. I think he did like 3 or 4.
Mhm.
And then one day he walked in, I'm like, man, he looks different. And then the next week he walks in, I'm like, the hell you doing, man? And the next week there was no doubt what he was doing. I'm like, God dang, man, you've gained like 25 pounds in 2 weeks. And it was solid muscle, man. And like every time he'd walk in, he'd just get bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, Ronnie was a freak, man. I mean, to see where he's at now, I mean, I never, ever, ever would have dreamed it. I thought Ronnie'd be 75 repping out 4 wheels on the bench press, man.
Well, he had incredible work ethic to
Oh
go
yeah.
along with, fantastic genetics. I
Yeah.
mean, he definitely put the work in, and he still comes to your gym, correct? And works
Yes.
out.
Yeah, he's just now getting to where they're releasing him to be able to work out again. But yeah, he worked out last week a couple times, and I mean, he's not really doing anything yet, but I mean, hey, he's back, so it's a start, man. I mean, I know they had to kill him, man, like 6 months with no training. I mean, I don't think that's good. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I know it wasn't good for his mind. I mean, you got a man that's used to working out every day of his life, and now nothing. I mean, that's got to be extremely depressing, man.
Hmm.
That's incredibly
To like work some mental reps.
exactly, man. I mean, like with me, when I feel bad, like yesterday, very boring day. It was super cold here. Uh, I should have went hunting, but I just ran out of time, and you know, cleaned my house. I said, man, I'm just gonna go to the gym. So I mean, I don't live real close to the gym, but I drove over there anyway, and I didn't have a really great arm workout this week, so I hit my arms, got a nice pump going. You know, I got a heavy bag, hit the heavy bag a little bit, man. It changed everything. I mean, I drove home with a smile on my face. Yeah, man, feel good again. I mean, honestly, like training is kind of a cure all, man. For you can at least escape for a while from your problems.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's your gym. Can you tell me a little bit about like the clientele that you have that come in and what that culture's like?
Well, I mean, it used to be nothing but hardcore.
Hmm.
But now there's so many gyms. I mean, shoot, where I'm now, probably within 3 miles, I bet there's 10 gyms, maybe more, probably more. I mean, probably within like 1.5 square miles, there's probably 10 gyms. So there's a lot more competition. If somebody's not, it's not, we don't necessarily get people that are the top competitors anymore. It's weird. Um, but I mean, we have everybody from like top IFBB pros all the way to like I signed up a lady last week. She probably weighs 400. Want to lose weight. I got her a trainer. She's been in there every day since, training hard. And I mean, I can already see a difference in her. I mean, and there's a vast amount in between. I mean, there's plenty of hard people, plenty of hardcore, but it's not just that. There's everything. And like what I always tell people, I go hardcore as it doesn't mean you're bench pressing 500. What hardcore means is that you're trying 100%. You're giving it everything you got. Whether whatever your goal is, you're trying your best to achieve it. And I mean, your goal might be 100-pound bench press. And if you achieve that, to me, that's a hardcore achievement. I mean, it really is. And most of the people at my gym, they're not even the monsters. They're nice to normal folks. It's not like, I mean, some bodybuilders. I mean, I was this way at one point in my life, man. Like, if you weren't part of this culture, if you weren't stronger than me, if you weren't, couldn't whip my ass, I did not respect you at all. I mean, it's really kind of sad, that I had an attitude like that, but I really did, man. And then, of course, becoming Christian and things like that had a huge part to changing that in me. And then, really, I really didn't want to compete as a bodybuilder after that because it was just so vain, so all about me. I didn't like it like I used to, and really, just growing up. I mean, I wasn't no baby. I was in my 40s, but late 40s. But you know, sometimes it takes longer to grow up than others. I'm still 18 in my brain, man. I mean,
We all are.
I'm still an idiot most of the time.
No, I think that's great that you were able to like, grow your gym and to see its purpose more than just lifting weights, but also changing people's lives.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. I mean, I've been blessed by so many people I didn't even know come up to me and like, man, I was going to kill myself. And I came to your gym and you were so nice to me and you showed me around and when I signed up, you made sure I had good workouts. You taught me. He goes, and eventually, I mean, this guy actually became a bodybuilder and competed. Um, you know, yeah, I mean, I started crying when he told me that. I didn't even know, but I've had many people tell me similar stories. Not all of them are going to kill themselves, but just how it changed their life. I got an email last week from a guy. I mean, like he goes, I've watched every Ronnie Coleman video. I've done this, I've done that. I've seen you in there. I've seen this, and he I forget what he wanted a autograph picture of me. I said, man, I don't have no autograph pictures. I'm not Branch or Ronnie. Oh, you need to get some. Not really, And then, but he just kept on telling me through the email, how training changed him and, brought him out of so many things. And he used to weigh, I forget, he was like very heavy, like 400 something, and he had gastric bypass. And he lost all that weight, but he also trained. And this guy, he competed and looked good. I don't know how he did in the show, but I mean, he looked good. I mean, you would have never dreamed this guy had ever been 400 pounds. And, I'm sure he had to go. I mean, he had to get that skin surgery where they cut all that skin away and stuff. I mean, that had to be horrific, man. But he did it. And just, he had a super positive attitude. And so I sent him like everything I had. I go, you want a beanie? Here's me. Here's a hat. What size are you? Here you go. I shipped all this stuff off to him last week. And he's like, well, no, you don't owe me nothing, man. I go, I want to bless you, man. I go, you telling me that blesses me. Because,
Um,
I get a lot of happiness out of helping people. I mean, like when I see people that are depressed, they're telling me their sad story. I said, you fix that? I said, come with me to a homeless outreach. I said, you go down there and you see what those people are going through. You ain't going through shit. I go, you got a house, you got a car, you have a job, you make money, you haven't missed a meal in 5 years. I mean,
you're able to work out.
yeah. I mean, come down there and see what these folks are like.
Right.
I mean, when we were cooking the other day, for this contest we had last Friday. I mean, I started cooking like at 8 in the morning, and the gym is different. I mean, Arlington has like 1 million people in it now, and we have a lot of homeless, a lot, just like any big city. And I've seen this lady come by a few times. I mean, she's ancient, or at least she looks ancient. She's in one of the motorized wheelchairs, and she sees me out there. I was actually grinding the deer meat in a hamburger when she pulled up, and I had a couple kids help me, and she's like, "Anybody got $1? Any could give me $1? Anybody?" And they're like, "Man, get the hell out of here." And anyway, I'm like, "Don't treat her like that." I said, "Yeah, ma'am," and I gave her $5. I go, "Here you go." And was she super grateful? Not really, but anyway, I mean, hopefully she'll remember that. Like, hey, somebody was kind to me. I mean, I guarantee it's been a long time since anybody's been nice to this lady. I mean, she looked very rough, and I mean, and she was very. I mean, she had a rough attitude, but my God, I mean, who knows what she's been through? So
Exactly.
you,
Yeah.
we forget how good we have it. I mean, I do too. I mean, I'm human.
Hmm.
It's not like I'm some, you know, white knight on a, shiny silver tower somewhere. I mean, I'm an idiot, man. I mean, I get in more trouble than anybody if I don't keep a tight string on my emotions.
But you're right. That those little tokens of kindness can go a long way.
Oh yeah,
You have no idea how that can make somebody's day.
yeah, and really, like when we did our deal for Thanksgiving, like I told all the people they're helping, I said we're the ones getting blessed because it's so much better to be able to be the giver than the one having to receive. I mean, and yeah, I mean, anytime you do something like that, it's rewarding, But,
Hmm. Talking about your Metroplex gym, I noticed that you don't have air conditioning or heat. Like you really
right.
are really attuned to the environment. Can you touch on
Well,
that?
we don't have AC, but we do have heat.
Oh, okay.
Um, I mean, the heat might be easier, the cold might be easier to deal with than the heat. Uh, that's definitely a determining factor of making it hardcore for sure. Um, I mean, once you get used to it, it really isn't bad. The I My little office, as you saw, uh, I didn't have air conditioner for probably 35 or 6 years. And I mean, I remember driving home a bunch of times and like, how did I get here? Because after 12 hours in that 100 plus five, you know, I still have a lot of work to do. I mean, I get like 60, 70 emails a day and that I have to answer. I might be exaggerating a little bit there, but I have to answer a lot, mainly due to like the contests we put on, I mean, and, it could be anything from dealing with a convention center somewhere to, a trophy vendor somewhere else. I mean, there's a lot of emails involved. So, I'm in there, and I mean, it's way hotter in my office because you also got all the receivers for the stereos and all that stuff, and all that stuff generates heat. I got that little refrigerator in there. That refrigerator generates heat, and that whole little it just gets hot.
Mhm.
But put in one of them little window units a couple years ago, and yeah, I mean it's still like 85 to 90 in there, but compared to the workout area, it's like the Arctic, man. It's great. And I mean, this year I don't really feel like it was that bad at all. I mean, of course, we only had a couple 100-degree days this summer. This summer was very easy compared to normal. I mean, it was still hot as hell. I mean, it's Texas. But I mean, I remember many months where it was 100 degrees every single day, and like 110, 112 at the really hot days. And it's not like Las Vegas or Arizona where you have that dry heat, which is also still hot as hell, but it's nothing like what we deal. I mean, it's that high humidity over 100 degrees. I remember Branch. He would take his hat and he'd just like hang it on something during the workout, and like I mean, sweat it'd be like dripping off the bill. It was so gross, man. I was like, God dang, man, throw that hat away, dude. But he sweats a lot. And we had another guy, big NFL guy that worked out with Branch, Matt Lair, and great guy, man. I mean, he tried to make a run in the bodybuilding world. I mean, he won everything he entered, but The price to be an IFBB pro, man, it's a lot. It's a big price, especially for these giant guys like that. It's just harder for them. But I remember he was on the leg. We were all doing legs together, and he's on the leg curl. It was like a waterfall on both sides, just sweat, just dripping off. And I'm like, oh hell no, man! I said, I'm doing standing leg curls over there. I'm not laying in that, man. Of course, we wipe everything down at the end of the night and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely not a pristine, germ-free environment, man. I mean, I remember when COVID came around and all that. I remember my one daughter's like, I ain't even worried. I mean, I was raised inside Metroflex Gym,
Right. You got to have a strong immunity, right? Because
and I mean, I never got anything. I never got sick. I never got nothing. I mean, I get blood. It tells you if you had it. I never had nothing. Nothing. So I was very, very, very fortunate, man. And I mean, we did that forced shutdown bull crap. But we still all worked out, man. I just go in there earlier before the code enforcement people go out, or then we go later at night when they're all off work, and we still all worked out, man. All of us.
your immunity up.
Exactly. I mean, it is essential. You know, take somebody like me that's been working out my whole life, and then it's like, oh, you're not going to get to work out for 3 months or 4 months. No, I mean, that's when you go crazy. That's when you do something stupid. That's when you kill yourself or stuff like that. I mean, training is to me is it's more essential than being a Walmart worker, that's for sure.
It's
But
like
anyway,
brushing your teeth. It's something you just have to do for your life.
absolutely, man.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So let me just ask you, is there any like story that maybe nobody's heard of that would find interesting for the audience regarding your Metroplex? Can you think of a story
Gosh, I mean,
there?
there's so many crazy people have been through there, man. I mean, really have had. I mean, like, not all in a good way either. I'm talking like legitimately crazy. I mean,
Has anybody tried to rob you?
never have been. One time I had a kid come in. I was there all by myself, kind of like about like when you came in the other day, that time of day, and he was dressed like a little gangster, and I just thought that this kid's gonna try to rob me, man. And I actually have a pistol mounted right underneath my desk, where I can just be just like this, and that gun's pointed right at your stomach right now. And I just started talking to him, and then I realized, oh, this kid's here just for a membership. I pulled the gun out and I'm like, she, put it down. He's like, God dang. I said, yeah, I was gonna put that right in your liver if I had to. Thought you may come here to rob me. He's like, God dang, man. But anyway,
Again, this is Texas.
yeah. But anyway, I ended up training this kid,
Yeah,
and he went on to win the Ronnie Coleman Classic about 4 or 5 years later.
amazing.
And yeah, and he became a great guy, family man. Has works at General Motors. I mean, or no, he works at the railroad now, Union Pacific. And just turned out to be a very productive person. I mean, like what you want your son or somebody to turn into. I mean, yeah, it was great.
Awesome, awesome. So speaking of the Ronnie Coleman Classic, that's coming up. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, I mean, I put on 3 shows a year. The first one will be the Better Bodies Classic. That'll be April 11th in Dallas, Dallas Market Hall. Next up would be the Ronnie. That'll be May 16th this year in Fort Worth at the Will Rogers Center. And then the final one for us will be in Houston, the Branch Warren, June 20th at the George R. Brown Convention Center.
Oh, nice.
Um, all these are, you can sign up right now at metroflexevents.com. Uh, if you're a vendor, I feel our shows are the very best for vendors throughout the state. We work very hard to take care of our vendors. When I first started putting on the Ronnie, I didn't have the money to put on a show. I mean, I remember I talked to Ronnie about it. And he said, well, who's going to do everything? I said, well, I'm going to do everything. I said, you don't got to do nothing. It's just the Ronnie, we're just going to call it Ronnie Coleman Classic. He'd won some pro shows, but not the Olympia yet. And back then you had to go to a meeting, state meeting, which is actually this week now. Of course, it's a whole different people now, but it's always been NPC. But I would say it was not run by great people back then, not like it is now. I mean, at least here in Texas, our Texas group was corrupt, in my opinion. And because I've been having to deal with them in the judging circuit for a long time. But anyway, Ronnie shows up the day of the meeting. It's just kind of when UFC first started and MMA, and I used to wrestle and stuff, so I knew some basic moves, chokeholds, arm bars, and people would I would give lessons on the side of the building. I just had some wrestling mats out there. Well, those stayed outside. They never, so you can imagine how dirty they were. And I remember I had on a white wife beater and shorts, and I looked like I've been rolling around in the dirt. And it's about 5:30. Ronnie walks in. I'm like, "What are you doing here?" He goes, "Well, we got to go to that meeting." I'm like, "What meet? What are you talking about?" He goes, "That for the contest, the state meeting." And I go, "Man, look at me, man." He's like, "You all right? Let's go. Let's go." I'm like, "All right, let's go, Ronnie." So we go. And back then, it was kind of like you had to present your show to the king and queen of our state. And I mean, they already had shot down like four people in front of us that were wanting to put on shows. I mean, they weren't nice either, man. And anyway, and they're like, so, they all knew me from competing. So, what are you here for, Brian? I said, well, I'm here because we want to put on the Ronnie Coleman Classic. And really, everybody was kind of afraid to say no to us because we were really the only ones who lifted weights in the room. We're bodybuilders. And Ronnie's just like looking around at everybody, and they're like, uh, yes. And so we got our chance to have one. And man, I'll tell you what, that first Ronnie Coleman Classic was the best show I've ever put on in my entire life. The way it felt, I mean, it was just so satisfying, and we worked so hard on it. And it had about 100 entries, which by today's standards is nothing. But by those standards back then, it was double, probably the biggest show of the year previously. Because back then, it was only bodybuilding. We didn't have bikini, wellness, fit
Figure.
model,
Yeah.
figure, uh, women's physique, women's body. I mean, there's like 7 categories for chicks, which is great, but no men's physique, no classic physique, bodybuilding. And if you're a woman, bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, you know, so we had a great turn on it. It was wonderful. It was a great experience. It put us on the map. And I mean, for many years, the Ronnie Coleman was the biggest show by far every year. Now it's still a big show, but like the show this weekend, it's the biggest one every year. It's the Battle for Texas. They always do it like the week before the Nationals. And now the Nationals, I don't know if they're going to stay here, but they've been here. This will be the 3rd year in a row here in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that's the only reason it's a good show. I mean, they do a great job. They promote the hell out of it. I mean, that's they work hard on it, and it pays off. And they had 700 with crossovers this last weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Big business, big business.
Oh yeah, big time.
So, so let me ask you, who do you think's going to win the Mr. Olympia next year?
Oh my gosh.
Let's just put a
I hope
prediction out
Martin.
there.
I mean, I want Martin to win. That's who I hope wins.
Okay.
I mean, Martin definitely has a chance to do it if he makes the same improvements that he made in the last year. This year, he's Mr. Olympia.
Okay. So if you listened to you earlier in the video, he can forgive you for calling him short because you're going to
Yeah,
say
don't
winning.
get mad. And really, for a pro bodybuilder, he's not short.
Right. Right.
I mean,
He's in the sweet spot, right?
yes. I mean, I'd say he's right where he needs to be. I mean, he he's very proportionate. He's got everything. I mean, he's got it. He's destined to be Mr. Olympia. I mean, his whole life he has had a goal of being there. I mean, he's like one of the people that want to play pro ball or whatever. They knew when they were 5 years old, I want to be a pro football player. He knew that with bodybuilding. And his story is amazing to me. I mean, he lifted some heavy weights when he was just a little kid. I mean, not even knowing what he's doing. And he's a lot of fun to train. I mean, he doesn't train the same style that he did with me. Our style is more dangerous, more aggressive. A lot of what people would call cheating. But if it's cheating, I mean, it made Ronnie Coleman
Cheating in what way?
because we very explosive on the movement. I mean, now you'll see a guy, doing a lat pull down.
But what makes
And
explosive
he's doing
cheating?
it like with 140 pounds.
Hmm.
And then we would put 300 on there or something. Whoa, whoa, and just,
Right.
and some people that's cheating. I mean, to me, I don't discount the other way. And really, for me at 68, I do more of that style now than I ever have. But I don't know, man. I just love slinging that heavy iron, man. I mean, you still got to control the negative part of it, and so on and so forth. I mean, I remember muscular development used to put out these issues, best chest, three best chests of all time, or something like that. Well, I'm thinking Arnold for sure, and Lee Haney maybe. No, it was Ronnie, Branch Warren, and Johnny Jackson. All three from my gym. All three that train with, I mean, bench press. I mean, never lock it out. I mean, just boom, boom, boom. Then the last one, boom, then you lock it out. It wasn't that every single rep, boom, flex, hold, down. It wasn't that at all. It was explosive as hell, man. And I mean, they both work. I mean, there's no exact science to bodybuilding. And if there was, I guess we would all follow that,
Hmm.
you know. And I mean, to me, training with explosive power is harder because you're lifting way heavier weight. I mean, like, now that I'm, old and broken, like when you came in the other day, I mean, I'm only doing like 80 pounds on the push down, but I was doing it that style and holding it, trying to flex it. Normally, shit, I'd put whatever's on that whole stack and whoa,
Right.
I just, but I mean, but I'm learning also, I mean, my God, I have so many injuries. It's stupid. If I'd have trained that slow way, safer way, would I still have all these injuries? I don't know.
Hmm.
I see people that have never lifted weights that have knee replacements. Well, I
Hmm.
have two now, but I did 1100 for 20 reps on the leg press today. I mean, that's probably more than most of the guys training for the Olympia. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe not. I mean, Martin could do it, that's for sure.
So
But
you point out a really key thing about like, recovery, taking care of your body so that you can keep working out so that you're not injured. But how do you, I guess, balance that, wanting to work out really hard, but then also knowing that you don't want to cause injury?
well, I mean, it's different for somebody that's competing now. For me, I mean, it's very easy to back off for me. No, I mean, I'm not going to a show. I mean, nobody wants to see a 68-year-old man on stage. I mean, I still have abs and all, but I mean, I don't want to see myself on stage.
They
I mean,
do exist though. I've seen them at
oh yeah,
the
but
Mr. Olympia. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I have guys that are at our shows that are in their 60s. I mean, we have a 60 plus division,
Hmm.
and I'm confident I could easily beat all of them that I've seen.
Hmm.
But I'm not going to get up there if I can't even be like 70% of what I used to be. But for them, they're probably the best they've ever been. So, I mean, some people don't see you start training until they're like 50, 60.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it's cool. But not, I don't, you know, try to talk them out of competing. But for me, I think those days are done. Just like Branch. Branch is still a bad son of a bitch, man. I mean, we go hunting together. We shared a hotel room last December, and we're hunting on a ranch that it's in his family. And I remember, we're walking around in our underwear, getting ready to put all our hunting clothes on, and I'm looking at his legs. I'm like, man, look at your flipping legs, dude. Let me see. Let me see. He's like, boom. I mean, he's still got striations up to his waist practically. I mean, they might be harder now than they used to be because they're still huge, but they're not, you know, 30 inches anymore, But no, he still looks great. Still looks really good, man. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're getting here toward the end, and I guess we've touched on a lot of different topics today. I've really enjoyed hearing about your hunting and your Texas background and how it kind of colors your life and your gym and so forth. And I loved your stories about Ronnie and Branch. And so just kind of like to summarize all the things that we talked today. What would you like the audience to take away from as far as your Metroplex gym and your philosophy and what you would like to see the legacy of your gym to be?
Well, I would like to see my gym, the legacy that it did change people's lives in a positive way. I mean, it's honestly it's harder now because the young kids now they're different. They're a lot of these kids are very disrespectful. They're very. I mean, there's some great athletes. I've got a couple, for example, a couple of young kids. They have tremendous potential. They're very young. They're like 14, and that meet we put on, I needed help. With the like loading and spotting and things like that. And I said, hey, would y'all be willing to help me? You know, Friday night, blah blah blah. And I said, and I'll pay you. What are you gonna pay us? I said, I'll pay you. I'll give each one of you $50. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, oh yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there. So I counted on them to be there. They never showed up. Thank God, I was able to pull. I know so many people, and that. I mean, some of these people came just to watch the show and eat the wild game, and then I've got them loading weights now. But we worked it out. And then when those kids came in to work out today, I said, man, what happened? And the one, he's like, well, we had things to do. I said, really? I said, well, I had something to do, and you told me you were going to help me. I go, that ain't cool at all, man. I said, I don't know what your beliefs are, but if I'd have done to me what y'all did to me, I go, I would be embarrassed to set foot in this gym ever again. And they're looking at me, I always say this, like a cow looking at a new gate. They're just kind of like, I mean, like they don't know that what they did is wrong, even. It's like they don't know. I almost want to just like, whack. I mean, that's what my dad would have done to me. you know? But yeah, they don't get punished for nothing. They're not accountable for nothing. It's weird almost to me. It's very weird. I mean, they know nothing about God. They know nothing. They're lost. And I mean, I would hope. I mean, I'm not Mister. I'm not a pastor. I'm not anything special. I'm probably the biggest sinner of anybody in the gym. But I do know right from wrong, and I know God bless me, and I know that just the basic Christian ethics. If everybody followed them, everything would be great. I mean, or just the golden rule: do unto others as you would do and do unto you. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not hard. You know, I think the one thing too that I would love for my gym to like be a place too where things were positive. Like so much negative crap in the world, man. I mean, it's so easy to like get trapped into that, hate mindset of, this person against that person, this party against the other party. I mean, it's sad, really, man. I mean, it's sad. I mean, people just don't get along anymore, man. I mean, even in the churches. I mean, honestly, I mean, probably some of the meanest things that are said to me come from Christian people, man. Because they see my lifestyle, this and that. And, I mean, to them, I'm the devil, man. But anyway, it's just, yeah, I mean, I don't want the gym to ever close. I want there to always be Metroflex gyms. I don't know if you know West Side Barbell, Louis Simmons, one of the greatest powerlifters ever. Trained many, many great champions. His gym, like if you were an elite powerlifter, That's where he wanted to be. It's in Ohio, Columbus, and he passed. And basically, he was saying, "Yeah, when I die, it's that's it." And I'm like, "What?" And I don't think. I mean, the legacy was too strong. I think it's still going. But with me, I don't want that, man. You know, if I die, I want y'all to take it to the next level, make it better. You know, I mean, like even looking at my gym and you look at the other Metroflex gyms. I mean, mine is the smallest. It's probably the worst equipped. It's definitely the worst environment for temperature control or whatever. But it's okay. It works, man. And I want them to be better than that. You know, we sold one to Japan recently, and the gym in Japan. Oh my god! I mean, it's amazing. It's so big, and it has just as much cardio as a 24-hour fitness. Probably, I mean, millions of dollars of cardio stuff. But they also have the hardcore part. You know, that's what I always tell, like the people that already own gyms or are looking at it. I said, man, I don't care if you have Zumba classes, as long as you have what I have here. You know, I understand that, like, we lose a lot of members at my gym. Like it may be a teenage kid that started training there in high school, getting ready for something or whatever, and then he gets married. Well, then his wife goes, I ain't working out there. Are you kidding me? Place is disgusting, and so then I lose the husband as well, and he has to go to 24-hour fitness with her or whatever. But I don't like what am I trying to say? If they can have that part that still appeals to the wife or the mom, a daycare. I mean, all that stuff. All these things I don't have.
Mhm.
As long as they have what I do have, like I don't care. I mean, it's fine. I mean, like that gym in Japan. I mean, it looks just like 24-hour fitness, but fancier. I mean the lighting. They got this giant picture of Ronnie. It's like a giant billboard. I mean, it's freaking beautiful. But they still have that hardcore part, and they're producing champions. I mean, it hasn't even been a year, and I mean, I think they've had like 5 people get pro cards, and they've had some. I think even like I don't know if they've won an overall, but I know they've had. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you win an ifbb, it's an overall win. So yeah, they've had some winners. I think they had a 212 winner. So I mean, I am very stoked about that, man. And they plan on opening up gyms all across Japan. So
That's
yes,
amazing. It's like the domino effect.
exactly. And then hopefully we'll get more gyms internationally. I mean, maybe I'll get my million eventually. I don't know. We'll see.
But I think you really, highlight how important it is. It's the people that show up more than just like what's there. It's what you bring and your
Exactly.
attitude
Sure.
and you bring unity versus that division you were talking about that you could have in a gym. And even with the young kids, you never know what seeds you're planting.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I hope. Like those two I'm talking about. Like I mean, normally I would have just like get the f out of here. But I wasn't. I was like even tonight when they came in, how you boys doing? So let me guess, bench press. They bench press like 4 days a week. And I keep trying to explain to them that that's not a great plan, but they think they know something. So now I just like go ahead, man. When you blow, then I'll show them like all the scars on my shoulder. So you see that one? See, I'm like, that's from what y'all are doing. And I go, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't be benching 3 or 4 times a week like I did when I was your age. So yeah, but some people just got to learn the hard way.
Yep. Yep. Especially rebellious teenagers. They'll eventually
Exactly.
they'll eventually get the lesson.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Well, awesome, Brian. Thank you so much for coming on my channel today and sharing all these great stories. I can't wait to release this. I mean, I could keep talking to you for a whole other hour. You just have a wealth of information, and I hope that you do more interviews in the future. And again, thank you so much.
You bet. My pleasure.
Awesome, awesome. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and to leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be alerted to when the next video drops. Thanks for watching.